Alright, guys, so I've been admittedly off of my review game. I was doing a decent job of reviewing new episodes of TV shows like Fallout and Night of the Seven Kingdoms and others, and listen, life just gets in the way sometimes, and you're not able to make content as regularly as you would like, but I'm gonna try to get back into it, so here I am. I'm reviewing A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Episode 5. Let's just get into it. So the big battle starts off and we see Sir Duncan's like POV shot. It's kind of an interesting cinematic thing that they do. And you know what? We get blue-balled. Duncan immediately gets stabbed and knocked out, and then we get into a flashback. And we flash back to Duncan as a little baby boy with his little baby girlfriend. And in a lesser show, this would have ultimately been really annoying, right? Because we've been building up this big battle and then they cut away from it. But if I'm being totally honest, I found the flashback scenes super interesting, right? Because we learn that Duncan has A, been a really nice guy ever since he was a kid, and B, as like we truly see what the gravity of him being like a poor person in Westeros is, of living in just true squalor. It's like we've obviously always seen the peasants in Game of Thrones before, but I feel like this episode like truly made us see how awful it is, how overcrowded their living spaces are, how just like gross it is. It was actually a really informative flashback just for Game of Thrones in general. But seeing this little girl character, it's really interesting because she's very impulsive. She's very desperate, to get out of the position that they're in. And she's so aggressive to the point that I feel like in a lesser show, this character would have been really annoying. Like when you're seeing her like challenge the guy that ends up killing them or killing her when she's like stealing things and stuff. And it's like, I feel like in a lesser show, I would be annoyed by her and I would be like, oh my gosh, can you like chill? But this show does such a good job of showing how their situation is so awful. They are so desperate. Like, I get why she does the things that she does in this episode, because she is truly and genuinely desperate to get out of this situation, that she's okay with dying in order to do so. Like, you really just connect with these characters and their situation in just a really cool way. That I feel like a lesser show would not have been able to do as effectively, especially when they're cutting away from the big battle that they've been hyping up. And it's especially effective because when it finally cuts back to Sir Duncan on the battlefield and he has to get up, you totally feel all of like the pressure that's on him, and like you feel the reason why he's doing what he's doing, why he was so aggressive and saving that other girl from the whatever bad guy incest Targaryen kid. You totally understand his character completely now, and so you, along with Dunk, you feel like totally energized, and even though you've been stabbed, even though you've been knocked on your horse, totally like Rocky style, it's like you feel the pumped up energy of him getting back up and getting into the fray. And yeah, I mean, it was just a great fight. Seeing them scrap, seeing it get down to the wire, seeing Sir Dunk take as much damage as he does, and then finally getting the better of the weird incest Targaryen kid. I don't remember any of their names. And then we finally get to the root of what makes Dunk such a refreshing character in Game of Thrones, is that he's genuinely just a really good guy. And so he doesn't kill the incest Targaryen baby. He like grabs him and he makes him plead for mercy. And that's obviously going to come back to bite him in the future, right? Like, this incest Targaryen baby is not going to let this go, right? He is he's going to make Duncan Egg's life hell, you would assume, throughout the course of the show. But Listen, we're in the era of big guy, good guy. You know, I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed Superman 2025 so much, was because I just like seeing just big guys be good guys. It's like the world sucks so much. Yeah, I think we want to just watch media of good people being good in spite of how horrible the world is around us. And then, even though this show has been different from other Game of Thrones shows where we're seeing the good guy come out on top, good people doing good deeds, giving them like good, satisfying endings, this does remind us that it is still a Game of Thrones show at the end of the day here. And like the royalty guy, I forget what is he the king? Or I don't think he is the king. I don't remember. But like this guy who was sticking up for Dunk and who sided with him, he died. His head was caved in, and it was like, oh, this is a Game of Thrones show. This guy that was probably going to take Sir Dunk under his wing and protect him from all the other just awful people, he did indeed die. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Dunk is going to deal with all the other Targaryens that you would assume are going to be really mad at him. But yeah, man, it was an undeniably good episode. Perhaps a tad overrated. Like, I've seen a lot of people saying like, "Oh my gosh, this episode is like one of the greats of Game of Thrones history," and like apparently it's like the highest rated episode of Game of Thrones of all the shows, whether it be the original series or House of the Dragon or this one. And I'm like, it's great. It's good. It's like it's not the Red Wedding or anything like that. Like, what are we even? Let's settle down here, folks. It's not like that good. But either way, I don't want to minimize it too much because it was still great. Yeah, let me know what you think about this episode, about the show in general, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.